So I love how I have a great reason to tweet this kind of stuff out, because if you search my account, if you follow my work for the last few years since I've been a citizen journalist, a public communicator of some degree, I've been explaining how much I hate the black capitalist class, which include the black celebrity class that had ties to the CIA. My first article I wrote, the article that really kind of established me, like the first Substack article I wrote that went viral. By the way, that was the only way I sustained myself. Like, bro, if it wasn't for that first article I wrote, bro, there's no way I was survive that first year. Our community helps me out now pretty well, but bro, the first 2 years, bro, people like, Nick, you're a fucking grifter. Like, nigga, you know how much I sacrificed. Like, I was like the Green Goblin in that Spider-Man movie. I was like, bro, you know how much I fucking sacrificed? I was making good money selling cars. I was doing pretty well. I was the internet manager at Toyota. I quit my job and now I was barely scraping by, but I took pride in my work. I was engaged in mutual aid. You guys know the story. And then I wrote my first Substack article I wrote was reject Barack Obama, embrace MLK, how it was like how black boomers embraced neoliberalism and rejected their black radical youth. So before the formation of RBN, I wrote on Substack. I wrote a few articles on Substack, and that's how I got started. I used to do a few streams on Twitch as well. So this is something I've been saying for years. So, bro, I feel so vindicated. My hatred and my disillusionment with Black Hollywood, the BET Jewish supremacy controlled Black supremacist class. Look, this is 10K likes on this one. Watson, she says, fuck LeBron James, fuck Oprah, fuck Jay-Z, fuck Beyonce, fuck Nicki Minaj, however the fuck you say her name. She's a fucking clown. Bro, they got these dumbass, what do you call them, BBLs, Brazilian butt lifts. They're trying their hard to fry the brains of our community, and I don't appreciate it. Here's my old ass unk take again. This is why I'm starting to age myself again. Like, I miss the age of the Gabriel Unions, the natural beauty. What the fuck is this BBL shit? They got these small ass chicken legs, and then they got this big ass diaper of plastic surgery that is used to make they're like, oh, I got a fat ass. No, you got a goddamn diaper. You don't got a fat ass. And the life of me, this is how I'm showing you guys how disconnected I am with mainstream pop culture, because this is normalized, but that shit is dumb. The CIA black control celebrity class, their job is to implement dumb shit and make us all look bad. I know I sound like an old stupid ass boomer when I say this shit, but this is the kind of disillusionment I have. This is why I don't follow none of your war shows. I'm not part of your black entertainment, Hollywood, cultural elite bullshit. Like, Atlanta itself is like a city of decadence because of the black celebrity class brainwashing people. Nicki Minaj, her stupid ass BBL, now she's twerking her ass for genocide. The same way that, what was her name? The horse lady, Morgan the Stallion. Morgan the Stallion, she's shaking her ass for genocide for Kamala Harris with her fucking BBL or whatever. All of them got this stupid ass, they all got diaper butts. And they were convincing young black women to get diaper butts. And to me, you guys see how they pushing aesthetic surgery? Whatever, do what you want to do. But I thought our body was our temple. You know what I mean? I'm not even religious, but this kind of shit you guys say. I take messages from religion. I like a lot of messages from Shivatism, Buddhist ideology, but there's a lot of good stuff from Christianity. Even though a lot of them are hypocrites, like, the body is your temple. Take care of your damn body. Take care of your health. What the fuck y'all doing? Yeah, they brainwash, and these black demons in the celebrity class, they tell these young black women that their body is not adequate. They convince them using white supremacist, pedophile gays beauty standards, and they tell our young black women that they're not beautiful unless their hair like white women hair. That unless you get a fake ass, you're not worth anything. Yeah, see why I'm upset. I know I may sound like an asshole to some people, but these are things I know is I don't fuck. And people like Nicki Minaj, she's here to implement this. The idea that in this obsession with cutting your body up, implementing BBLs, the lack of anti-intellectualism, just the overall decadent culture they are implementing and spreading to the black working class. And this is why I said that the working class need to have a post-Epstein revolution where we reject Nicki Minaj degeneracy. You know what I mean? Is that Megan Stallion shit real? It's so impressive. I'm not sure. I was mostly talking about Nicki Minaj. Let's just to be said. I can't even tell you one. What's the other one? Scarlet Red. What's her name? What's her name? That red lady. She got fake everything. And I'm saying it's our love of black women. Hollywood, the Epstein capitalist elite, was here to brainwash you into thinking that your natural African beauty isn't beautiful. That black skin isn't shit. And as a man who loved it, I be seeing my beautiful African sisters, and I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? What are you doing? Sexy Red. Yeah. Guys, fam, I don't know these people. I'm telling you guys, I'm using the most mainstream example because that's like the best I can do. Yeah. Bro, Sexy Red is a CIA op. Don't get me started on her. Now you guys see why I gotta take a break between that segment. Because we're just getting started, fam. This is my tweet that's already going super viral. Because I tweeted this only a few hours ago. It's already at 10K likes. Fam, this tweet is doing numbers. Because I think one of the reasons it's doing numbers because this is not my first rodeo. There was a lot of these black bootlickers who get upset with me whenever I call black celebrities. I'm like, fuck you, Horatio. The fuck you fucking goy cattle slave. If you following Jay-Z and Beyonce after what was revealed in the Epstein files, you are a goy cattle slave. You might as well be on the goddamn plantation. You're a wage. We already wage slaves. And you following and worshiping people like Jay-Z and Beyonce? Goy cattle. Might as well be. So I've been saying this for years. So I've been eating good in the Epstein files. I just now have a chance to do a segment on this. I've been waiting for the last few shows to do this. Rome did a fantastic segment on this. My RBN brothers and sisters have been doing a great job on this, and you guys know I had to cover this. I continue. I hate the entire black celebrity capitalist class. They are complete and utter scum. Now people are like, damn, this nigga was right. This is why I organize based on class, not race. Fuck these disgusting traitors. This is why I'm an unapologetic class reductionist. I explained before why. The opposite is assuming that we can work with people like LeBron James because he does performative pictures with Malcolm X. Actually, before I continue my thread, let me play the video. Here's LeBron James. I've been teasing it. Fam, if you're not on Black Twitter, if you're not on NBA, like if you're not on Black social media, the youth meltdown from this is indescribable. It's indescribable. LeBron James arguably ruined his entire legacy in 60 seconds, just like that. The legacy he was carefully curating, it's over. Because here he is coming out as a full-fledged fucking Zionist. Let's play the video clip.
Fans. What message would you like to send for Israel?
If I have fans over there, I've never been there. If I have fans over there, then I hope you've been following my career. I hope I inspire people over there to not only want to be great in sports, but I want you to be better in general in life. So hopefully someday I can make it over there. Like I said, I've never been over there, but I've heard nothing but great things, and I appreciate the question.
Fans. What message would you like to send?
You heard nothing but good things? Malcolm X is fucking spinning in his grave, man. You mean a country that is literally torturing children? You guys realize that they was caught removing and stealing organs for Palestinians, and there's accounts of many of them being alive. They kidnap and put Palestinians in torture facilities where they rape them to death. Israel right now is seizing the West Bank, where there's a story that just came out where a mob of Likud, a Jewish militia, kidnapped a Palestinian boy and snapped his arms and his legs simply because he was an Arab living on what they describe as Jewish homelands. Tortured a child. This is the state that LeBron James says he wants to go to. I explained before that no country murdered more journalists in Israel. Around 48% of the journalists that they murdered was in their own home, and they murdered the entire family of journalists. And if you took all the wars of the last 30 years, I did a hotspot video while I just covered this. All the wars of the last 30 years combined, you wouldn't have the actually, I gotta be careful here. I think it was like out of all the wars of the last 30 years, there are more child casualties that Israel is responsible for, and that's the lowball numbers it was using. We know for a fact that there's around 880,000 dead Palestinians, around 300,000 plus dead children, infants under 4. This is the state that LeBron James want to visit. You guys realize, in the celebrity class, in the capitalist class, looking at you right now, you guys realize there's no weaseling your way out of this. You guys realize that this is the moral struggle of our lifetime. You understand that, right? There's no way you're going to wiggle. You either with the global majority against the pedophile Epstein elite, or you're not. And one thing that's important to understand with class dynamics that people have to understand, that Likud James, he is not doing this to secure a bag. LeBron James has so much money, he couldn't spend it in dozens of lifetimes. And this is the important part of the class dynamics that people have to understand. This is not about money. This is not about securing a bag. This is about signaling to the Epstein class that LeBron James will never, ever side with the people over the decadent Epstein ruling class. This is how they allow him in. There's rumors that LeBron James, after he retired, he's angling to buy an NBA team. I was talking about this with one of my friends, how there's rumors of them creating 2 new franchises, and LeBron expressed interest in that. So LeBron, he wants to rub his elbows with the genocidal NFL owner, Jewish supremacist elite. I'm going to cover that here very soon. The NBA elite who go after Kyrie, Irving for standing up for Palestinian people. And they was putting statements out condemning Hamas while never putting out a statement to condemn Israel. He wants to join their class, so he's sending out a message to them, and working class got to understand that these people are our enemies, because this is not about a bag. LeBron James has fuck you money. He has fuck you money. So what's the point of having fuck you money if you don't use it? Because he's part of the Epstein Diddy party elite. Remember how James says there's nothing like a Diddy party? Now we know why. Now we know why he was part of Diddy parties now, don't we? And look at these black celebrity capitalist scumbags. Look at this piece of shit, pretending that he read Malcolm X. Malcolm X, a lot of people like to ignore. He was one of the people that wasn't even afraid to name the Jew. He talked about Jew supremacy all the time. And he was unapologetically against Zionism. The person who wrote this book, there was a great tweet explaining this, who wrote this autobiography, they removed his quotes against Israel because many of the white Zionist-controlled white suburb class considered Malcolm X an anti-Semite because of his criticism of Israel. What does that remind you of? But you guys see how these black pieces of shit will take our revolutionary heroes, the same person who explained how these blacks sell out. Actually, let me find that clip. I don't have it loaded up, but let me find it. The same person that warned the black working class to beware of these black celebrities. Oh, this is on Instagram. I want to find another video. I found it. Let me find another source. Here it is. Hopefully this is a good. But you guys see how LeCruse James, I should say, he is quick to, in an attempt to manipulate the black working class, try to tie his pro-Zionist, pro-Obama, because he's good friends with Obama, the drone king, the guy who tanked black wealth. He is here to launder Malcolm X's image and destroy it. And if we don't speak out against these scumbags, they're going to rewrite history like the ruling class always does. These motherfuckers are already rewriting what Malcolm X stood for. You guys see these K-high black liberals, they be like, I support Malcolm X. Malcolm X maximum, man. Vote for Kamala Harris. They're doing everything they can to make a fool and water down who these people actually are. I need to find a clip. Actually, we need to watch some Malcolm X videos. I want to show a clip. I played it before of him destroying Jewish supremacy. And he was like, yeah, the Jews own the media. The Jews, no, bro, he didn't give a fuck. He's not like one of these CIA leftists who are afraid to call out the scourge of Jewish supremacy. They talk about white supremacy all day, and I'm with them on that. But then you don't want to talk about Jewish supremacy when we got Randy Fine. Randy Fine is calling Muslims dogs, but you guys don't want to talk about Jewish supremacy. Okay, bro. So here's Malcolm X on people like LeCruse James.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
My man Malcolm X really don't miss. And they know he don't miss. That's why it's very important for them to destroy his image and what he really stood for. I wonder if I can find is this the video I'm looking for? Let's see. I can't believe this is still up on TikTok. What's it? I think this is the video I'm looking for, but let's try it out. I gotta show at least one more Malcolm X video. This man is too powerful. Like, I want a fourth of the power this man possessed. You know what I mean? That's what I strive for.
Anti-Semitic. Many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made it mention a couple. Are you anti-Semitic? Anti-Semitic. Many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made it mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic. No. How can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him. Are you anti-Semitic?
What does that sound like to you, my friends? Well, I told you, fam. I learned so much from my revolutionary leaders. What was that guy named for the Majority Report? What was his name? Matt Leach. Remember how Matt Leach and a few of these white YouTubers, they made videos. They're like, man, I think Nick from RBN is an anti-Semite. The Vanguard, they also was like, yeah, you gotta make sure you don't become like the anti-Semitic left like Nick and RBN. Because I said the same shit that Malcolm X said. You guys see how the revolutionary left, they wasn't afraid to talk about the scourge of Jewish supremacy? It's only the CIA left. It's only the Jewish supremacist left, led by people like Matt Duss and Bernie Sanders, who is a Zionist, who convinced the left that it's somehow against leftist principle to be critical of a whole religion. The fuck y'all talking about? Voss as well, yeah, Voss, he's another person who was like, yeah, Nick is an anti-Semite. Bro, when I was going after Jewish supremacy, bro, they went after me hard. I was like, bet. I was like, you guys gonna go after me? You guys realize it made me want to talk about it more, right? like you gonna fucking intimidate me? Fam, look it up if you guys haven't seen the hit jobs on me about this. The ADL, they wrote a whole article like, man, Nick from RBN, they preach anti-Semitism. Yeah, Ben. It wasn't Matt Leach. It was Ben Burgess. Is that video still up? Ben Burgess, Nick, anti-Semitism. Wonder if he took it down, but he got ratioed. He got ratioed in his YouTube comments. I wonder if I can find it. Oh, look at this! There it is. Look at this. This is the CIA left. Ben Burgess. He would have did a video 30 years ago. Well, sorry, he would have did a video 50 years ago, 40 years ago, calling Malcolm X an anti-Semite. You guys see the kind of great enemies that I'm blessed with? Revolutionary blackouts, anti-Semitism is a gift to Zionists because I call out the scourge of Jewish supremacy, which apparently you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to mention the fact that Jews have a disproportionate control of critical infrastructure, like the media. You want to know who else a minority have a large stake in, which you're not allowed to mention for some reason? Like, hey, man, NBA largely black league, extremely international now. Like, there are a lot of European hoopers, a lot of global South hoopers. Wemby is African, I believe. So it's kind of weird in this international league that 64% of the fucking owners is from one ethnic group, the Jewish people. Once again, nothing against Jewish people, but hey, can I notice that? Nope. If you notice that, you're an anti-Semite. Look, team owners by ethnicity or race in the NBA. But Ben Burgess would call me anti-Semite if I noticed that, man. Ben Burgess would have went after Malcolm X if he was alive. They would have called Fred Hampton Jr. a radical tanky. Hell, they would have saw even more of our liberal brothers like W.B. Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois had trips to the Soviet Union, and he praised the Soviet Union's system of government. People like Ben Burgess would be like, hey, don't you know W.B. Du Bois is a Russian pro-Putin tanky or pro-Stalin tanky? I like the fact that I have these enemies because they legitimize my politics. They don't even realize it. That's why they're so stupid. They don't realize they legitimize me. And the funny thing is, look at the comments. I didn't tweet this video out. People like, Nick, why don't you do a reaction video to people who was like, Nick, do a reaction video to Ben Burgess calling you an anti-Semite. I'm like, fam, he is beneath me. Look at his comment section. If he would wanted to invite me on to debate me, I would fucking dismantle him. But if you're getting caught up by your own audience, I don't even need to waste my time. Because look at his audience. You guys are disappointing. Not picking these comments out, these top comments. Bring them on instead of making stupid accusations. You're doing the thing you claim they are doing. Look, I'm Jewish. I love my anti-Zionist Jewish brothers and sisters. RBN is not anti-Semitic. Anyone who says so is telling lies. Criticizing the genocide of indigenous Palestinians by apartheid Israel is not anti-Semitism. This litigation of anti-Semitism is concerning and meaningless when unfiltered critique of Zionists doesn't affect in a material sense how they operate inside the United States government. Hey, there's another top comment. You guys see it? I'm just reading back to back. No selective reading here. This is why it wasn't even worth my time because I'm like, bro, you own yourself. You guys make me look good. My ops make me look good. Like the fact that Voss was the fact that he attacked me. Okay, great. I got a fascist attacking me. I got a pedophile attacking me. Okay. I'm Jewish and I found RBN to be very sensitive and considerate. What a great person this guy is. Example, he mentioned Jewish people of conscience who dropped out of the Biden administration protest. Yep, exactly what I did. I'm glad this person followed my work. Because my critique of Jewish social structures, which they are afraid to go to, I criticize the systems of synagogues, their support for genocide. I say one of my criticisms of Jewish structures is how they villainize and how they go after anti-Zionist Jewish brothers and sisters. So how can you say that I'm an anti-Semite if my criticism of Jewish institutions is how they treat our anti-Zionist Jewish brothers and sisters? It's a debate point that he would never be able to answer. That's why he don't have me on. That's why these clowns make me look good, because they are beneath me. I would snatch whatever degree this man has. They're jokers. This is the dumb pro AOC left. That's why they propped up by algorithms. Well, kind of, because this video is like kind of what I'll get. So he's not. My last video got more than this. Like his job. Look, his job's supposed to give you live view like 3.3. He doing okay. My last video did more than that, despite not talking about drama. A lot of people, they get a lot of clips from drama. I get thousands of people watch me just talking about geopolitics. Leading as an intellectual instead of a bootlicker for the ruling class, like Ben Burgess. Instead of someone who was to organize the working class under an imperialist genocidal party. Look at the comments. I'm not picking. Look, y'all should have him on to talk. You would love to see y'all get schooled. Would love to see y'all get schooled by the legends of RBN. Y'all are clowns for this. Boo! Terrible analysis. I love this comment. Boo! Terrible analysis and terrible argument. When are you going to make a video to walk back the lazy and dubious claims? So sorry, after a long ass stream, which I hope you guys been enjoying. Can I enjoy a W that I received? Just like China, I win by doing nothing. Just preaching the truth. By the way, let's quickly get into this. This is a long ass stream. I told you guys it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those marathon streams. So I might take a few days off because I'm gonna definitely cut this into a segment. Hope you guys enjoy. There's gonna be a lot to watch. I know you guys are not watching this in one sitting if you're watching the live stream, but cut it up. Watch 20 minutes here. Watch a little bit during your commute. That's how I used to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy these marathon lecture streams. Like, I can talk about geopolitics for hours. That's the result of my studying and my work for over the last few years. This right here is probably the greatest piece of slander I have ever seen in my life. If you're wondering where I got the Lakou James name from, then why I have to show this tweet out of obligation, because this is a motherfucking banger tweet. Black Twitter, and I might just search LeBron James just so you guys can get like an unfiltered view of it. Ever since his interview, this man has been carefully curating his image for 20 years. There's no reason to ever listen to any LeBron interview. Everything he said was always fake as fuck. Like, you can tell he always was managing his image. Bro, just like this man ruined his image. Just like this. Just like Steph Curry, also known as Stephen Yahoo. So from now on, fam, this man's name is Stephen Yahoo. We got Stephen Yahoo, Lakou James, and the KDF. Because I'm vindicated. Because it's not just about LeBron James. You got to realize that every black celebrity, every single person in the mainstream that has been fed to you in the black community, I'm talking to you, my brothers and sisters, has been curated and fed to you by the CIA and the Mossad. I know it's a lot to go through, bro. There are people on Black Twitter that say, hey, man, realizing that everyone we looked up to and all our politicians, also all our celebrities, all the rappers, the fact that these people was government feds, these people was Mossad operatives, it's like a spiritual experience. It's something that's unspeakable. If I'm telling you guys, go on Black Twitter. If you're not on there often, go on there just right now, because it's crazy. This interview, the revelations that Kevin Durant and Steph Curry invested in Israeli drone technology. Everyone is looking at the Steph Curry files now. Like, you have these Kevin Durant, Steph Curry files that just released. And Kevin Durant is particularly deranged. Not only does Kevin Durant invest in Israeli drone technology, This man was bragging about it. It's not like he was an ignorant person who was like, hey man, just invest for me, man. This man was bragging after he was criticized for selling drones and killing kids. He was saying, if they need drones, we got you. So by the way, there was a Kevin Durant files that released. So Kevin Durant is a loser. He's a very famous and successful NBA basketball player, but he's known as like an internet troll, no wife, doesn't really socialize, which is okay. I'm not judging him on that. But this man is on Twitter nonstop using burner accounts. And he was using these burner accounts to talk shit about his own teammates. I'm not covering that for the most part because I'm mostly focused on the geopolitics angle of it. But if you're looking for a juicy story, look at the Kevin Durant files and the release messages after his burner accounts was revealed. And one of his burner accounts, he was bragging about funding Israeli genocide. If they need drones, we got you. Just found out today that Kevin Durant invested in a technology company called Skydio, which sells to Israel. These drones are used for mass surveillance on Gazan civilians and have been deployed in major U.S. cities. Kevin Durant is evil. He is absolutely evil because, once again, this man made a godly amount of money shooting a rubber ball into a fucking hoop. You guys, it had nothing to do about the bag. This man is set up for generations, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not about the bag. What is this about? It's the psychotic ideology of the capitalist class. It's the Epstein elite, the people who go to the Diddy parties. Do people understand that class reductionism is reality? Everything goes down. Once you get rich, you view people as less than human. Hell, I might as well invest. I want to make my stock portfolio look good. So who cares if I murder a few children? Who cares if I invest in technology used to torture people to death? Everything is about class war. You got to see why I unapologetically embrace class reductionism and fighting against these capitalist scum, who I will never, ever accept. So LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, they lead the NBA in the amount of children they killed. That's the only stat that matters now. People are like, don't you know that Kevin Durant won NBA champion? Don't you know he led the league in scoring? No, bro. The only stat that matters now is that he leads the NBA, that lead professional sports when it comes to murdering of children. And if you're wondering why I'm bringing up the Jewish supremacy, because everything that we've been taught to follow are Zionist operations. So the majority of the NBA is ran by Jewish supremacists who force, and it's not an excuse for these people because they portray the working class is by their own will. If you're wondering why LeBron James have to say he heard nothing but good things about Israel in the middle of a genocide, it's not about securing the bag. It's about signaling to a Jewish supremacist owners that he's part of their club and will never side with us. So Nick, you're like, man, just because 64% of the team owners in the NBA are Jewish, that doesn't mean anything. That don't mean they affected policy in any way. Here's Dwight Howard explaining what happened to him when he supported Palestine.
I tweeted "Free Palestine," and I dang near got kicked out the league for it. And I'm like trying to figure out why. So I tweet "Free Palestine." Less than 10 minutes after I tweet that, I get a call from the commissioner of the NBA.
Stop it.
Agents, people working with my foundation at the time, Texas, you got to erase this tweet. You got to take this down. You're going to get it. I'm like, what did I do that was so bad?
Can somebody explain to me?
Yeah, can somebody explain? You know,
But tell me more about how I'm an anti-Semite, because I say our NBA leagues, our media, and our institutions have been hijacked by Jewish supremacists who control the NBA. who people like Lakud James, Stephen Yahoo, they had to bow down to these people. And now people are doing a real analysis. I remember we covered this on the RBN before about the assault on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving just telling the truth about the crimes of Israel. And Kyrie Irving comes at it from an angle that is not even my style. Like, he comes at it at a more of a religious angle, which is legitimate because Kwame Ture, he does the same thing. But he's more, I don't want to misstate it, but he more believe like black people are the original Israelites. I don't know exactly, but he's like, he calls out Israel, their crime against Palestine. He believed that all humanity should be allowed to live in the Holy Land. Please forgive me. I don't know his exact specific argument that he uses all the time, but it's essentially anti-Zionism, which he's allowed to express. And this is the point that he makes all the time. He explains how, hey man, I'm just explaining my ideology and how I view the world. Why am I not allowed to do that? There's a clip I actually want to show where you get attacked by the Jewish supremacists that was going around. I wonder if I can find this. But people have been reanalyzing what happened to Kyrie Irving. You know, the people that would sleep, the people that thought that he was actually a bad guy, and now they are looking back at what he went through. And they're like, bro, what the fuck? Look, do you guys remember this? When Kyrie Irving went after Israel, and they were threatening to remove him from the NBA. And look, the Nets have delivered Kyrie Irving 6 items he must complete to return to the team. In fact, you guys realize that Kyrie Irving is a fucking baller, right? Usually on the team he's on, he usually the number 1 easy on his team. Maybe the number 2. I haven't followed modern NBA as close as I followed the old school NBA. But either way, Kyrie Irving is a great player. So you guys realize that Jewish supremacy is so ingrained in the NBA that a whole ass NBA team was willing to release a generational great because he criticized Israel. Do you realize how fucking crazy that is? You realize how entrenched Jewish supremacy must be in the NBA for this to be possible? Let me continue. Nets have delivered Kyrie Irving 6 items he must complete to return to the team. He put out a movie that was critical of Jewish supremacist talking points. And they accuse him of denying the Holocaust, which people are allowed to discuss and critique facts that you may misrepresent about the Holocaust. I'm not taking a position either way. There are a lot of things you guys say that make no damn sense. Yeah, you guys like notice how they like there's always like a new Holocaust survivor. Like my mother was pregnant and I survived the Holocaust because they gave birth in the prison. That's a very weird death camp. Anyway, I'm saying that because these are the kind of arguments that Kyrie Irving and them that will use. Once again, I don't usually focus too much on that. But Kyrie Irving and a lot of people, they like question it. They're not questioning that it happened. They question the details around it. So because of that, and his criticism of Israel, they try to ruin his career. That's the movie they talk about. Apologize and condemn the movie and documentary that he shared. He had to donate $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes. He had to go to sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, meet with the ADL and Jewish leaders. And who the fuck is Joe Tsai? Meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate understanding, treating him like a fucking slave. I don't get into Holocaust denialism because obviously Nazi Germany engaged in a lot of crimes. Most of the crimes was committed against the Russian people, by the way. The biggest victims of World War II, despite what they say, is the Chinese people, where they have millions of people who were tortured and killed by the Imperial Japan. And they rewrite that because Japan's an ally now. But the Soviets suffered the most from Nazi Germany. It's very important for us not to talk down the brutality of Nazi Germany. But it is pretty weird that there were so many babies who survived something that was called a death camp. You know what I mean? These are questions. I'm not taking a position. I don't want you guys talking shit. But these are the questions that people ask. If you're wondering what the Kyrie Irving Holocaust thing is, we see what Israelis do to Palestinian children and how they tortured them to death. But they're having children who grow up to be Holocaust survivors. So once again, and one thing I learned, because you guys know the Allies had a massive blockade of Germany, which many people in Germany, they starved to death. This is why Hitler is a failed leader. This is why people like Nick Fuentes are losers, because he created a war that led to massive suffering and death of his own people. But that's a conversation for another day. So the Allies engaged in a blockade of Germany, blocked supplies in. Many Germans died of starvation. So that led to many Jewish people dying of starvation as well. So that's the point that a lot of people say. They say, yeah, a lot of these people died of starvation because of the Allies blockade. Whether you agree with that point or not, these are just history debates. I feel like these are comments about history and disagreements about history that should be had. And if you strongly disagree with one of these arguments that people who question the Holocaust support, this is part of public discourse that should be allowed about history. So the argument that Kyrie Irving and people make is, why do the Jewish supremacists get to dictate the flows of history? You know what I mean? Can we have an opinion? Is that not allowed? So that is going mega, triple platinum viral because people are reanalyzing everything they heard about the slander of Kyrie Irving. So let's play this clip here.
Just exist.
This video is Kyrie Irving essentially destroying one of these reporters, and this is why they hated this motherfucker.
Just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of
putting it out there, people are going to say that you are
promoting. Yeah, put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Filled with
anti-Semitic. Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another human being. I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that.
I don't have to understand anything from you.
It's not me.
Nothing.
By
it's no people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting,
move on. Next question.
Anybody
do you guys have any more questions?
And they're going to say,
you guys have any more questions? Because this is going to be a clip. This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
This is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie
cooked that bum. And man, this clip right here, I'm so glad that, and I'm talking about even people on the right. I've seen people who are like, got US flags in their profile pictures. People are just like, generally centrist, establishment-leaning right-wingers. Even they're looking at these old Kyrie clips and look, Kyrie Irving is a legend for standing up to a reporter who called it anti-Semitic for promoting a movie about Palestine. One of the few people apparently in the black celebrity class in the NBA sphere that have balls to call out Jewish supremacy and the genocides that they support.